I wanted to tell you about the specific of Russian flats. What's the difference I noticed between Russian flats and, for example, Western flats? That's, of course, more about apartments which are located in block of flats which were built in Soviet Union or just some short time after Soviet Union was over. And of course, in some old houses, also the traditions of these apartments also appeared. So I think let's begin. The first thing is a laundry machine located in the kitchen. The reason is that usually bathrooms in Russian flats are very small and there is just no place where to put this laundry machine. And kitchens are not always, but usually tend to be bigger. And when I was a kid, in my family, we all had laundry machines in the bathrooms. And when, for example, I came to my friend and I saw that they have laundry machine in the kitchen, it felt so strange for me because actually kitchen is for food, for eating, and you have a laundry machine there. Why? But the last years, I also live with this laundry machine in the kitchen. I can't say that I completely used to it because I still find it not very comfortable because we have all like laundry detergents, conditioners for clothes in the bathroom, and we have a basket for dirty clothes in the bathroom again because it's strange to have it in the kitchen, but the laundry machine is in the kitchen and you need to grab and take it all there every time. But we really also have no place for laundry machines. But at the same time, the pros is that in Russia we have laundry machines in each flat. So I know, for example, that in USA many people don't have laundry machines in their flats and they need to go to some public laundries. And for me, it's so wild when I knew it first. It was so wild. Because I don't know, I felt like you need to wash your stuff in public laundry machine. I understand that of course they are like clean because there are some detergents to wash, but I don't know, I feel a bit nasty about it, and I really appreciate that in Russia we all have laundry machines. I know that in USA in some old block of flats, because they are old, it's not allowed. In Russia, it's no matter, everyone has got this laundry machine. I don't know, I never heard about any problems. Maybe I just don't know, but really each person just has it, and it's quite okay. So yeah, that's really good. At least I would prefer to have it in the kitchen than not to have at all. The next thing, which can be a little confusing, is how Russians count the amount of rooms in the flat. For example, if you see their advertising in I don't know, anywhere, advertising about renting or buying a flat, and there is written the amount of rooms. As far as I know, in Western countries, they count only bedrooms. So if there are like 3 rooms, that means 3 bedrooms, and living room is just something which naturally exists. So it's plus 1 extra room, which is living room. In Russia, it's not like that. We have as many rooms as we say. So if we say 2 rooms, 3 rooms, that's literally just 2 or 3 rooms. And it's very typical not to have living room at all in the flat, because usually I think that came from the Soviet Union, because in Soviet Union government, there was a period when they gave flats to workers for their families, and I think that they usually had as much rooms as they had, I don't know, like family members, so they just had no extra room as living room because it was something like Polish, something from Western culture. So each room was just really necessary for living, for sleeping. And if there was a lack that you for some reason had an extra room which was for no one's sleep, for no one's living, that was just a big luck or maybe some circumstances, but it was not typical. And usually when, for example, guests come into your home, the function of living room takes kitchen, despite kitchen also can be very small. If the kitchen is too small and there are a lot of guests, so they can't all sit in the kitchen, then everyone go to the biggest room in the flat. Of course, you need to manage it with your like relatives, because I don't know, as I remember, for example, when I was a kid and we had some birthdays, yeah, we could sit, for example, in someone's parents' room. They put a table there, but actually it's their bedroom. And yeah, of course, you need to discuss it, I guess, with your parents, for example, if you can come with your guests to your room, or if you have some party or something, or you need just go to your room, for example, which is smaller usually. I was very lucky because we had a living room, so I didn't have this problem. But again, it's just a luck that, to have living room in Russia. And usually, it's something. Of course now it depends, but before, in my childhood and before, it was like that. And another thing about counting something in blocks of flats is about counting floors. In Western countries, there is usually a ground floor, which is like the first floor, which is actually not a first floor. So the ground floor, which is the lowest one, where usually people don't even live. So there are just some, I don't know, some point where guard is, where the entrance is, and no flats. But in Russia, we don't call it ground floor, we just call it the first floor. So if we also have some amount of floors in the block of flats, that's just exact amount. We don't have any extra floor which is named ground. The next thing, I never thought about this, but I heard that many foreigners are a bit surprised with that Russians put lots of stuff in their balconies or loggia, and sometimes it looks really messy. So it's just everything there. They can keep a lot of old stuff. Some people keep their tires for their car, like winter tires or summer tires. And nowadays, many people still do this, despite new houses, new blocks of flats can be with panoramic balconies with big like glass windows, but they still just grab lots of like rubbish there, which looks like rubbish, and that doesn't look really good. So of course some Russians have these aesthetic balconies with chairs, with some table to sit there to spend some time, but for many of them it's still like a place of keeping everywhere in complete mess. And I can't say that many Russians are happy with that, because if you have like window view on the other neighbors' balconies, you can see all this mess from your windows, which is not really pleasant. Luckily nowadays, yeah, I see more and more aesthetic balconies, but still I would say like it's like 50-50, or maybe even 60-40. And 60 is messy balconies with lots of stuff. That's also connected with the size of the flat, because there is not so much space, and usually people have no garages, no any other place where to keep their stuff. They don't want to rent anything, and that's why they just put all it in their balcony. Also, many Russians have like summer houses, which is called dacha, and many of them also grab some old stuff there. And my family did the same way, but of course it's not very comfortable, because dacha can be anywhere, and balcony is nearby. So some people, yeah, put something there, like for example fir tree, Christmas fir tree, they can keep it there the whole year, just to use during the New Year period or something like this. The next thing, I don't know is it exists in Western countries or not, because I never seen anything like that in movies, but we have used to have and still have in some block of flats in Russia. It's called garbage chute. In Russian it's musoroprovod. So it's located on staircase on each floor or between floors. So you grab your garbage in the pocket, in the bag and throw in this garbage chute. It falls down in a big garbage bin, and then workers like grab it out. But in modern houses, usually they don't do it because it attracts mice, rats, cockroaches, all all these guys. That's why in a new block of flats you need to grab your bags with rubbish, with garbage, and go out of your block of flats and throw it in a huge garbage container, or how it's called, dumpster, in a dumpster. In Russia, in some parts of Russia, the dumpster is called with very funny name, pukhto. I heard this word when I just several years ago. Before, we all used to say just мусорный container, which is garbage container, actually, dumpster. And yeah, that was funny. And by the way, I already talked about it once. In Russia, at least in big cities and towns, we usually have so workers come every day or day after day and grab this garbage. So it's not like I heard that in some countries it can be once a week or something. So yeah, when I heard about it, I was like, how it's possible? That sounds so terrible. So in Russia, yeah, it's every day or day after day. These workers come and grab all the garbage. The next thing I noticed just when I started filming videos, I understood that when I watch some Western bloggers and they film at their homes, it's very comfortable for them because they usually have just white walls, so just with painted with white paint. And that's very cool because when you film some role plays or you need just some neutral background and you can do something with that, it's really cool. But and as I remember, when I visited some people in Western countries, they also had something like just white walls. In Russia, it's not common because usually we all have wallpapers, and usually these wallpapers, they are colorful, so they are not white, and sometimes they have some like golden parts or parts with, yeah, like I said, decorations, ornaments. And of course, if you need the background to film your videos, that's not the best thing, because it's look not really beautiful in the video. And that's why most of the Russian bloggers, they or buy some background, or as I do, they film with a curtain backgrounds or something like this. And yeah, I really understood the pros of these white walls when I started filming. The next thing is not really actual for nowadays, but it was very common for Russia, and I think even many foreigners know about that. That's having carpets on the walls, hanging carpets on the walls, and not even small, but really big ones, which cover all the wall. That was very popular tradition. Now it's not, now it's well associated with old grandma's flats, flats without renovation, so it's not trendy, but it really used to be. This tradition came from Oriental culture, because I previously said about this once, I remember, in some video. The ornaments on the carpet is not just ornament there, it's the depiction of gods. So, and you can't walk on the depiction of gods. So if the carpet just laid down on the floor and it's like disrespectful, that's why the carpet is like I don't know, like a picture hanging on the wall. And also for Russia, the other function was that it keeps more warm to the room, to the flat. And I think each Russian kid, which I know had this carpet, stayed at night at their grandma's or in their country houses with these carpets on the walls. They had this memory how they fallen asleep and they lay nearby this carpet, and you look at this ornament while falling asleep, and you know all this ornament by heart because you always lay in the bed and look at this ornament for long time each night. So yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting thing. Yeah, when I talk about this, that sounds interesting because when you're Russian, for you, it's just some old stuff which is not trendy, and usually people try to get rid of it. But somehow, yeah, it's pretty unique and unusual cultural thing. The next thing which I really love in Russian culture and really don't like in Western culture, and I also already mentioned it in previous videos, it's detached toilet and bathroom. It also, I guess, came from Oriental culture, and I really like it because I really find disgusting to go to toilet at the place where you take in bath and brush your teeth, and for me it's just opposite things, and I don't understand how it's possible to combine it at one place. Also, it's just not comfortable because, as I said, in Russian flat, usually we have just one toilet and one bathroom, and they can live the whole family. And if it's just in one room, it means that, for example, it's a morning and all people, for example, are going to work, to study, and they need bathroom, they need toilet, and if one person, for example, go to toilet, the toilet and the bathroom are busy together. So I don't know, I don't find any pros of having bathroom and toilet at one place, and I really love that we have it separated. And unfortunately, in many new block of flats or houses, they are in a Western way combined together, and I really don't like it. I'm happy that in my place I still have them detached, and that's super cool for me. So that's it. That's what I remembered. I hope that that was interesting for you. Thank you very much for watching, and пока-пока.